Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here today with episode 2711. If you want to follow along, please do feel free to do so. You can read along with all the questions at stephencabral.com/2711. We've got some more great questions, I have no doubt about it, from the community. Each and every weekend, we try to answer about 10 to 12 questions from the community. Just depends on how long they are, of course. And they're just about, I would say, 10 to 12 weeks in the past, meaning like we get so many questions on a weekly basis. It takes us about 2 to 3 months to get to those questions. I know it seems like a long time, and I believe that it is as well. I wish I could answer more faster. The good news is, though, you don't have to wait to get answers to your questions. You can ask them same day at cabralsupportgroup.com. cabralsupportgroup.com, that's where you can get your questions answered. Be a part of our online community. It's all free, and we help you get answers to your questions. So, again, these are all free services we try to provide. We just want to point people in the right direction as to what could be the underlying root cause, how to get well for you, your family, your loved ones. If it's helpful, I always recommend, of course, share it. But if you could review the show, subscribe to the show, that would be amazing. It helps us grow our reach as well. So our only goal is to reach more people. This show will always be free. It's been free now for 8 years. 2,711 podcasts, somewhere around 5,000 questions answered. And that's our goal, to create what might be the largest integrative health podcast out there that people can search. And you can search it right at stephencabral.com/podcasts. And there are thousands of topics that may be helpful for you, or, of course, someone that you care for. And I know there's a lot of practitioners listening as well. So you'd be able to search this to maybe look at a second opinion, something that you might not have been looking for. So hopefully this is helpful. Let's dive into the questions. That's why we're here. First question is from Madyson. Hi, very, very simple question. What are your thoughts on the usage of an air fryer? It is a simple question, and it's a great question. I don't know if I can give as simple of an answer. And the reason is that an air fryer makes delicious food. It's very easy to use. It doesn't necessarily use Teflon. It's typically a copper or metal-based surface. You can even put something on top of that surface. It sits right in your counter. You can just kind of let it do its thing. The only issue is that foods cooked at higher temperatures tend to accumulate more, and I've talked about this on many different shows, carcinogenic-based compounds. Now, there are ways around this. One of the good news is if you're cooking meat or fish, you can squeeze some lemon. You can put some olive oil on the outside. You can add a little bit of rosemary. Lemon juice, rosemary, olive oil, 3 powerful ways to basically coat whatever you're cooking in an antioxidant that will not allow for the same level of oxidation. So great. If it's a starch, starches can create or accumulate what are called acrylamides. That is from the burning, the crispiness, all of those things. That can be mitigated to a degree with the same olive oil, rosemary, lemon if you want the lemon on there, but also not letting it overcook. That's a big thing too. So I don't think that there is a perfect way to cook. In Ayurveda, it was low and slow. No smoke, no high flames on it, no high heat. That, if we looked in an ideal world, that might be the ideal way to cook. It's not how most of us cook. Difficult to cook that way. The only people that typically cook that way are people that are smoking, something. They cook it for hours at a low heat, but then it's getting the smoke from the carcinogens. So, I've learned to say, we humans, we cook. That's what we do. What we want to do is try to add some antioxidant to whatever we're cooking and also have antioxidant-based food with it. Salad, vegetables, things of that nature. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. Of course, not a simple answer, never a simple answer for me because it's so nuanced, right? That's what it's all about. All right, Julie's up next. Dr. Cabral, would you please give me your opinion on the shingles vacc? I'm 55 and have been encouraged to get it, but I'm a bit hesitant. Any advice you can give would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, Julie. All right, I can't give you an opinion on this one topic. It's the only topic that I'm not allowed to give an opinion on. Because if I give an opinion on it, well, one, it's a lightning rod, but I'm okay with that because I always give my opinion. I love our community. I want you to know that. I truly do. But I do not say things to try to have more people like me or dislike me. I never think about that. All I think about is this the right thing to say in terms of what would actually do the best and greatest good for the greatest amount of people? Because everything is so nuanced that anything you could say would be wrong for someone, right? And this is the one topic where you are censored from giving any type of view other than the standard conventional medicine viewpoint, even if you can share the pros and the cons. You're not allowed to share the cons. And so unfortunately, I can't give you both sides because I'm not allowed to speak on this because it would lead to censorship. It really would. Like I'd be taken off of YouTube and other platforms. And so people say, well, you should do it anyways. But the thing is, and I don't charge, this is all free. I'm not doing this to try to make money or anything. That's not what I do this for. But then if I did that, I'd no longer be able to reach people. I don't know the right answer to that truthfully. Maybe one day I'll be able to have a separate in private membership where we can talk about these things openly and freely and present the pros and present the cons. But for right now, I can't. So I apologize, Julie, and it's unfortunate, but I don't own any of the networks, and I just want to be able to help people. I don't know how else I'd be able to. That's the truth. Okay. Because we reach millions of people a month now, like literally millions of people a month. So I feel like it's a greater good. I struggle with this all the time. I'm going to be honest with you. And that's why I'm kind of externally processing this. I struggle all the time as to what the right thing is to do. But being able to help people and the majority of people without talking about that one topic, that's the compromise I guess I've come to. And I don't even know if it's the right decision, but okay. Kate's up next. Hi, love the podcast. I have a question about skin moles. I would like to understand what is the underlying root of why some people develop more moles as they get older or from the sun and why others do not. For example, my husband and I are both similar ages, spend about the same amount of time in the sun, mostly without sunscreen unless midday for extended periods, and have the same diet, very little to do, no nut seed oils or refined sugar, yet I've developed many more moles and he has very few or little. Why does my body produce this when others do not? Thanks for the information. It's a great question. There are all sorts of different theories. So there are theories that, not just with moles, but I've done a show on what are called cherry angiomas, which are basically little red blood cells, little red dots, right? You get in your skin, they can grow over time. They're basically red blood cells on the outside of your body rather than the inside of your body. And they're for all intents and purposes, they seem to be benign, completely harmless. Same with most moles. So why do some people develop them? There seems to be a hereditary component to it that after the age of about 35, 40 years old, the body no longer has the same degree of stem cells. It's not able to repair in the same way. There's more oxidative stress. The sun is an oxidative stress. It's not necessarily a bad one. If you get too much of it, of course that it is. But that some people develop more, and it's basically like a little wound it shows on the skin from healing from whatever that may be. Now, the little dark spots we get in our skin, those can be what are called lipid peroxides. That can actually be elevated levels of glucose or certain proteins in the body that bind with sugar, and when the sun hits the skin, they can actually oxidize to a greater degree. So that you'd have to run on something like the stress mood and metabolism test to look at your levels of not thyroid, but also I think thyroid would be helpful in this case to look at that for overall metabolism, but to look at insulin and hemoglobin A1C. So it's worth looking at for sure. Too nuanced again for me to give you the exact answer, but hopefully that got you started. Tomorrow's up next. I'm a 35-year-old female who has had radioactive iodine treatment for Graves' disease at 17. I became hypothyroid. I've taken Synthroid since. In 2017, I began taking T3 medication. In addition to Synthroid, my labs looked good until a year ago when I began to show a suppressed TSH, 0.01 to 0.04, a low normal T4, a borderline T3. After coming off T3 medication, my TSH rose to 0.4, but my T4 and T3 have not changed. What could cause all three values to stay low? If I can get my T3 and T4 into optimal range, does my TSH matter? I ran the stress, mood, and metabolism lab in September, and my T3, T4, and TSH were within range at the time. I did, however, have high cortisol throughout the day. I've since done the FM detox, heavy metal detox, and mold protocol. Thank you. Okay, yeah, great question. Okay, so let me catch everybody else up. For those people who don't know what radioactive iodine treatment is, it's still wild to me that they radiate or use radioactive iodine to destroy the thyroid, to literally destroy the gland in someone's body. It's wild. It really is wild to me. It's like the dark ages. We'll look back at that saying, what are we doing? Like, what's going on here? No need to look at the underlying root cause. Let's just get rid of this thyroid, and then let's put somebody on pharmaceutical medication that they take for the rest of their life. Now, again, tomorrow, this is no fault of yours. I had my tonsils taken out. I had my adenoids taken out. I've had all sorts of, things done. So I get it. I understand. Okay, so let's get down to it. If you have a TSH from 0.5 to 2.0, that's considered a normal, healthy range. Below 0.5 moves more towards Graves' disease, which is strange because you had your thyroid removed. So the only thing that should be elevating thyroid, which means thyroid production, so it would drop TSH. I know this is like super confusing in the beginning, but I've got 50 podcasts just on the thyroid at StephenCabral.com/podcast. Scroll through the images, click on thyroid. You can learn all sorts of things about thyroid. If you want to take my thyroid course, literally, it's like every book that you could possibly read on the thyroid in 4.5 hours. Everything you want to know about the thyroid, that's at StephenCabral.com/courses. Some of the courses have a fee, some are free. Up to you, whatever you want to do. Obviously, it's always up to you. So here's the thing. When your TSH is low, that's thyroid stimulating hormone, it means that your body already has enough thyroid. So it's not producing more. If your TSH is high, above a 2, that means there's a greater call for thyroid, so it's making more thyroid stimulating hormone. If you have enough T4 and you have enough T3, your TSH will stay low. So, overall the picture, what do we need to do? We need you to work with your endocrinologist to lower your thyroid medication with them. Again, I'm not giving you medical advice, no medical treatment plans, medical cures, medical diagnosis, or medical advice. You work with your endocrinologist and you say, listen, my TSH is 0.01 or 0.04. It's extremely low. Do I need this thyroid medication if it's that low? Their answer is going to be, hopefully, no. Now, eventually, you probably will need it again because you don't have a thyroid to produce thyroid hormone. So what we need to do is we say, is there anything that could be enhancing the uptake of thyroid? And there could be. So you may have introduced more selenium or zinc or copper or B6. What else would influence it? Iodine? All of those things would greatly influence the amount of iodine that you can produce. So it could be that you added in a supplement or Brazil nuts for food or things like that. So again, take all this into consideration. There's no way your endocrinologist would know to look there, and it's no offense to them. That's not their job. It's not what they do. They diagnose disease and they prescribe medication. And I'm not saying that medical doctors aren't brilliant. They are, without a doubt, some of the smartest people in the world, but they don't look into natural health. So that's why I'm glad that you're an advocate for your own health, and hopefully this was helpful. All right, let's get another question for the day, and it's from Melanie. Melanie says, what is the cause of low normal free T3, but high reverse T3 on a woman that has Hashimoto's and is on thyroid medication? TSH is under 2, so it's normal. Oh, another thyroid question. All right. So again, for anybody who wants to know how to rebalance their thyroid and find the underlying root causes, StephenCabral.com, /courses. I almost never talk about that, but I have a course on detox. I have a course on female hormones. I have a course on thyroid. I have a course on digestion and gut and fixing that. So definitely check that out. And then there's a course on weight loss as well. All right, so let's take it from the top again. Thyroid stimulating hormone is stimulated from the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland to the thyroid. The thyroid then produces a hormone called T4. T4 is usually then processed into T3. It's many different organs and cells of the body, but usually the liver, mainly the liver. Okay. What can happen is T3 can become reverse T3, which is unusable to the body. That happens under inflammation, stress, heavy metals, viruses. Those are 4 of the main reasons why it would become unusable. However, you have another thing going on, which is Hashimoto's. That's inflammation. That could increase your reverse T3. I would work on the Hashimoto's. I would work on rebalancing, typically stress, heavy metals in the gut, to work on healing the underlying root causes for any autoimmune issue. Again, no medical advice here. The thyroid medication seems to be the right dosage that you need for right now. If you can choose to use this, there's natural methods as well, to keep it under a 2. So we need to work on why it's converting to reverse T3. I just shared the reasons. And just to let you know that your free T3 can be absolutely normal or even low if you have high reverse T3. Because basically, your body is not able to use T3 and it's being shunted over to reverse T3, which is an unusable form of T3. So we need to fix the reasons why that might be happening. You seem to still be on the right amount of medication. Basically, you're getting enough so that even with all the conversion to reverse T3, you still have enough T3, it seems, because it's normal free T3, right? So it's like, but one day when you fix this, you're probably gonna have to go down in medication, or ideally, you will work with a natural health practitioner to potentially one day come off by using natural-based modalities. So hopefully that was an answer to your question. I appreciate everybody tuning in here today. Love being able to end the week this way. It's always about, again, trying to get the information in front of you, you getting the results you want, and then in an ideal world, you teach it to someone else. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Don't miss it. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.